What's up, guys? Welcome to another video of Dev Talks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering and technology wise. In this video, we're going to be diving into how Google and Android have come together to prevent scam texts and scam messaging and stuff by using AI. So, without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we're just going to dive into this and see what's going on.
Google has launched new AI detection tools to help protect Android users from scams. This week, the company introduced scam detection for calls and text messages. It comes at a time when scammers are using increasingly sophisticated attacks, stealing more than $1 trillion worth last year, according to the Global Anti-Scam Alliance. Joining me now here in Studio 57 for more on this is William Antonelli, a tech reporter who's written for Business Insider, Polygon, and others. William, a warm welcome to you. Thanks for waking up early on a Friday. I don't know how early you get up. But how does this work?
Essentially, Google's anti-spam deterrence acts a little bit, it goes a little bit more in depth than what we know already. You're probably used to seeing on your phone, you get a call and it says scam likely, something like that. That's how it's usually worked in the past. Google is essentially saying that with the new Pixel phones, what it is going to be doing is actually when you get a call, if you answer the call, it is going to be scanning what the person on the other side is saying. And if they mention some things like some common scam words, scam triggers, like say, I want you to buy me gift cards, things like that, because that's a very common scam tactic, it'll essentially trigger a notification that tells you, hey, you might be talking to a scammer. And so it goes a little bit more in depth than what we know so far.
And what do you make of this? Because in order for it to do that, it's got to listen into my call. Definitely. I could be speaking to my niece who wants me to buy her a gift card. So what are some of how does it work and what are some of the risks?
The good thing about it is that it runs on device. What that essentially means is that when it scans your phone call, none of that data is leaving your phone. It's not going to Google's headquarters, for example. It runs off a small chip in the phone called the Gemini Nano. So in theory, it should stay all on device. Of course, that's what Google...
That is such a big aspect to all of this. So the biggest thing you just said right there is who's getting this data and how they're going to do that, because a lot of people, they're always worried about security issues and stuff. And I was going to ask about that too, right after we listened some. So this is why we listen first before we comment on things. But that's a great thing where you're not getting your personal calls and stuff that's being tracked properly by AI sent over to Google's thing. And I think every phone place provider, Apple and all of them should be able to do this. They should implement this. We haven't gotten into the text message portion yet, but I remember when one of the newest updates, like iOS 16, I think it was, 15 or 16 came out, and Apple did a way better job with blocking scam calls in general and being able to identify it better. I know it's getting a lot less scam calls, but they have not done anything when it comes to actual messaging. And scam messaging is one of the biggest issues ever. I don't know how everybody in the world right now, at least if you're in the northeastern part of America, US, is getting our Easy Pass toll scam. Everybody in the Northeast is giving that Easy Pass toll scam crap. And like, that's not even how you get your bills and stuff there. Everybody was getting that. And it's outrageous. Like, I don't want to see these messages come through, period. That's where I want to go. I want to see if they talk anymore about messaging, but that's one of the problems that Apple and us who have Apple products are facing now with scams and things, because I feel like scam text is way more of a bigger issue. I haven't seen it. I haven't gotten a scam call in forever. Personally, back in the day, I used to get plenty of them, but definitely not now. So let's hear if they got anything about messaging.
Google claims. We don't necessarily want to take them at their word, so we'll have to see when that comes out. But right now, it should be safe for people that are concerned about their calls going up into the cloud.
And how does that differ than what many of our viewers might already be familiar with, which is that message on the phone as a call comes in, this might be a scam? How is it different than that?
With the way that you might see it on an iPhone or current Android phones with the scam likely, what that actually is doing is that when someone calls you, it checks their number against a database of known scammers. Essentially, if someone calls and then they get reported as a scammer and enough of those reports come in, that number gets added to a database. And then when you get the call, your phone is able to say, hey, this is from a database that was flagged, so hey, probably don't answer this.
You know, we mentioned that more than $1 trillion is stolen due to these scams because, especially with elderly people, it works on at least a single-digit percentage of people. So how might this help that? Because an elderly person might get a text message and be confused.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that one of the tactics that a lot of scammers are using now is voice changers. Things like, they'll change their voice to sound like your nephew, to sound like your grandson. So I think that the way that this will help people is that I think that it'll trigger that sort of common sense piece of their brain, which sometimes goes off when you're in a panic. If your grandson calls you saying, hey, I'm in trouble, you need money, you're not necessarily going to think twice. But if your phone then tells you, hey, this guy is asking you for Steam gift cards, he's probably not your grandson, that might trigger that small bit in your brain that then helps you from giving away a lot of money that you should not be giving away.
And you make a good point to say, look, this is what Google says, eventually we'll see as this is rolled out. But what are you more curious about or waiting to see?
In terms of Google's promises, one of the other things that they've talked about in terms of the new Pixel phones is that they have this thing coming called Pixel Sense, which is supposed to be an onboard AI assistant, something that can take from loads of different apps and give you notifications, things like suggestions on what you should be doing at the current moment. That's what Google says it is going to do. Google has promised that many times in the past. That's what they promised with Gemini a few years ago. That's actually what they said that this program, Google Now, was going to be about a decade ago. So what Google says and what they promise and what actually comes to fruition are not necessarily the same things.
And always good to remember that. William Antonelli, great to have you with us.
Thank you very much for having me. Oh.
So I think this is a big thing. The major part about it, he didn't really go into detail about the text. It looks like this pop-up is just going to come up in general. So this wasn't as big as a thing that I thought it was going to be. One of the things I actually do like about this, you kind of get some insight into how the scam likely database thing works. I wasn't aware of that prior. I did not know about that process in a sense. I thought they just I never really even thought about it too much. I was just like, I don't want these calls and whatnot. But I wonder if certain phone providers get scammed more than others, and especially certain types of scams and everything. But having a text message come up and things like that, and they're like, hey, this can be a scam. Is it a scam or not? Report and block. Um, I actually never tried to report messages before. We're gonna do this live real quick while I record. I know I got in one of those messages. I just don't open them. Easy pass. Can I report? Oh no, this is my actual easy pass. Messages. Toll notice. Report junk. Oh. So you can. Okay. Yep. So that's how that works. Well, hopefully you guys like like what's going on to this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think they just need to find a way to just siphon through all of them. Like, don't even bother me with this bull crap. I feel like you would have your grandchild's number in that sense. And the issue for me, like the example you gave about your grandchild, if you don't respond to it, most likely the grandchild is going to tell your parent, and then the parent's going to reach out of it. What's the chances of your grandparent not having somebody's number already saved, and getting new ones and things? There's certain stuff that more people should take more in person. Like maybe you just give them your number in person or whatnot, but I just rather it all be blocked. Like, don't even give me the call. Don't even give me the text message. It's a waste of my time. I don't want to see it at all. Don't give me a little pop-up thing like that. But hopefully it evolves and gets better. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate you guys. Peace. See y'all next time. And if you want to see more videos like this, two things. One should be popping up right about now. And if you want to request one, send me an email at devtalkspod@gmail.com. And that's officially it. Peace. See y'all next time.